Hello and welcome to NewsX World. I'm Asuma Kataoka and you're watching Hollywood Calling. From celebrity scoops to film and music buzz, here's your quick look at what's making headlines in entertainment this week. Warner Brothers Discovery has urged shareholders to reject Paramount Skydance's $108 billion takeover bid, backing its $72 billion Netflix deal instead, citing lower risk, regulatory concerns, and a Hollywood power battle far from over. The first reviews are in for James Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash, and critics are divided. The film opens with a 70% Rotten Tomatoes score, the lowest in the franchise. Comedian Amy Schumer and husband Chris Fisher are divorcing after more than 7 years of marriage. Schumer has called the split amicable, saying that they remain focused on raising their son, Gene. A new documentary, Melania, offers a rare look at Melania Trump in the 20 days before the 2025 inauguration, directed by Brett Ratner and produced by Melania herself. It hits theaters January 30th, 2026, before streaming on Amazon Prime. Warner Brothers Discovery's board could announce a decision as early as next week on a major takeover bid. Reports have suggested that the board is likely to advise shareholders to vote against Paramount Skydance's $108 billion offer. This comes amid a fierce battle for Warner Brothers' valuable assets. These include its famous film and TV studio, a vast content library, and the HBO Max streaming service. The winner could gain a major edge in the global streaming wars. Netflix earlier emerged as the frontrunner with a $27 billion cash and stock bid for Warner Brothers' non-cable assets. Paramount then countered with a higher all-cash offer of $30 per share for the entire company. Paramount claims its bid faces fewer regulatory hurdles. Now we move on to our next news. Nick Rayner has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of his parents, Hollywood director Rob Reiner and producer Michelle Rayner. The bodies of the couple were found at their Brentwood home in Los Angeles on December 14th. Their son was arrested later that same day in Los Angeles. He made his first court appearance on December 17th. Nick Rayner waived his right to enter a plea at this stage. Rob Reiner was best known for directing hit films like This Is Spinal Tap and When Harry Met Sally. He and his wife were married for 36 years and had 3 children. Hollywood legend Rob Reiner, who was found dead with his wife in their Los Angeles home, leaves behind a remarkable legacy in film and television. He first gained fame as Michael Meathead Stivic on Norman Lear's groundbreaking sitcom All in the Family, earning 5 Emmy Awards for his performance between 1972 and 1978. Rayner also made his mark as a filmmaker. He starred in and directed the cult classic This Is Spinal Tap, a 1984 mockumentary that satirized rock bands and the music industry, blending humor with keen observations on band dynamics and touring life. In 1986, Rayner directed Stand By Me, a poignant coming-of-age drama about 4 boys on a journey to see a dead body, exploring friendship, loss, and growing up in small-town America. He followed this with the 1989 romantic comedy When Harry Met Sally, starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, which explored whether men and women can be just friends and became famous for its witty dialogue and iconic cafe scene. In 1992, Rayner directed the military courtroom drama A Few Good Men, starring Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, which delivered one of the most famous lines in film history, "You can't handle the truth." He also directed The Story of U.S. in 1999, examining the highs and lows of marriage. Later, he appeared in The Wolf of Wall Street as Jordan Belfort's father, adding depth to the film's true story of excess and corruption. Rayner's work spans decades, combining acting, directing, and producing, leaving a lasting impact on both Hollywood and global audiences. Now for this discussion, we welcome Shekhar Vijayan. He's a freelance entertainment journalist, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to Hollywood Calling. What do you have to say about the significance of the charges filed against Nick Rayner?
Suma, thank you for having me over.
Thank
I think
you.
First up, it's quite tragic to see a legendary filmmaker like Rob Reiner and his wife getting killed in such a manner. The fact that his elder son has done this and the family is devastated speaks for itself. This is a tragedy because Rob Reiner has made such beautiful movies, like the names of the movies you mentioned, When Harry Met Sally, or A Few Good Men. These are all iconic movies, and Rob Reiner was such a great filmmaker. It's so tragic to see what he's gone through, and to see what's happened to him by his elder son. It just speaks about the human tragedy. It speaks about a family which could be torn apart. It speaks about mental health, and also justice, because we would really love to know what's really happened in this case, and nobody really knows what's the real truth behind this, as to how the murder happened and what's the reason for the murder. It's an ongoing investigation. So right now, obviously Hollywood and even fans like us are devastated because this is quite tragic. This is a filmmaker who's made such beautiful, such wonderful films, so funny, so humorous, and so tragic to die like this. I hope justice is served. I hope justice is delivered, just like his movies, and I hope his soul rests in peace also, because it was very tragic the way both the husband and the wife have been murdered, and from what I read and from what I hear and what I see, it's by the elder son. So I think once we get a complete clarity in terms of the proceedings, in terms of who's been, in terms of the entire information around it, only then can we come to conclusion. But this is very tragic and this is very sad.
100%. And now, how did Rob Reiner's legacy shape reactions within the film industry? What do you think?
I think the entire industry is shaken by this, because this is a man who's been married to his wife for the last 35, 37 odd years. He was around 78, his wife was 73. They've been together for the longest amount of time. And to see a man who's made such wonderful films, who's done so well for himself, to die in such a manner, I think it just sends shockwaves across the industry, not just across Hollywood, but across the world, because his movies have made an impact, not just in Hollywood. I would say all across the world. His movies are so iconic. You just spoke about When Harry Met, when Harry had, like those movies you had mentioned, right? I think all those movies, When Harry Met Sally, these are all iconic movies which we all remember the dialogues from, or even A Few Good Men, where we remember the court scene. So everybody is obviously devastated. Everybody's shocked by the way this has happened, and it's so tragic that this could happen to someone who's such an iconic filmmaker and who's murdered by his own close one. So I'm going to be watching this case very closely, because this is not, there's something more to this, and I don't think we can even comment on this until we get to know really how the justice has been served on this. I think that's going to be really critical and important.
Yes, we will be eyeing that. Thank you very much, Mr. Vijayan, for sharing that. Please stay with us as we come back to you for a later discussion as well. Now, moving on to a movie review. The first reviews are in for James Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash, and critics are deeply divided. The third film in the franchise has opened with a 70% score on Rotten Tomatoes, the lowest of the series so far. Several major outlets panned the film, with some calling it the weakest yet, citing its long runtime, familiar story, and heavy reliance on 3D spectacle. Critics described it as visually striking but narratively thin and repetitive. Still, not all reactions were negative. Some reviewers praised Cameron's scale, world building, and battle sequences, calling the film epic and visually ambitious. Avatar: Fire and Ash had its world premiere in Hollywood and is set for global theatrical release later this month. Now moving on to our next news, football icon Cristiano Ronaldo may be heading to Hollywood. Fast and Furious star Vin Diesel has revealed that the Portuguese superstar will appear in the next film in the blockbuster franchise. Diesel shared a photo with Ronaldo on Instagram saying a role has been written specifically for him. The tease was later backed by actor Tyrese Gibson, who welcomed Ronaldo to the Fast and Furious family. The announcement has sparked excitement among fans worldwide, though questions remain over how Ronaldo will balance filming with his club duties at Al Nassr and preparations with Portugal ahead of the 2026 World Cup. If confirmed, the role would mark Ronaldo's first major appearance in a Hollywood film. Now we welcome back Mr. Shekhar Vijayan. He's a freelance entertainment journalist, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Mr. Vijayan, for staying with us. Now looking at this, what can you tell us about Cristiano Ronaldo's possible role in the Fast and Furious franchise? What is your opinion on this?
Suma, I think first up, I think it's a great, very, very interesting strategic casting coup. Getting two icons, global icons, that's Cristiano Ronaldo and Vin Diesel together will make such a big difference. This also reflects Hollywood's trend of leveraging cross-industry star power. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo is a global icon, and the reason I say this is Messi was here in India a few days back, and he's as big as Cristiano Ronaldo, if not. Both are rival superstars, right? But if you've got a Hollywood celebrity like Cristiano Ronaldo and you've got Vin Diesel coming in the frame together, I think it's going to be a very interesting moment. And even if you're talking about the franchisee, which is Fast and Furious, I think it speaks for itself. The fact that it's such a global franchisee, there are so many more things coming to it. With Cristiano Ronaldo coming in, things will change completely. I think it's about the star power. It's about Vin Diesel's marketing, is the way he manages the media, the way he places along. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to watching how they bring their compatibility on screen, and this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a welcome addition. Getting Cristiano Ronaldo in one of those fast, snazzy cars. This is a man who actually plays football as fast as that. Getting him in one of those fast cars, getting him to do those very interesting stunts is going to be interesting. I would love to see how he plays it on screen.
Yes, 100%. And could this open doors for Ronaldo to pursue more acting roles in the future? What do you think?
Ronaldo is a global icon, and his rags to riches story is very, very inspirational. I'm sure that everybody around the world would love to, watch how Ronaldo's story unfolds on screen. Him as a person, as a footballer, itself is so inspirational. And with him joining hands with Vin Diesel, I think this will just the blend sports celebrity and blockbuster cinema. This is not just traditional movie audience. We're talking about footballers also watching this. We're talking about sports-loving countries also watching this. We're talking about people who are crazy about football also watching this. So this actually expands boundaries. This actually expands reach, and this is going to be very interesting. I for one, am really looking forward to how Ronaldo plays this because this is a different playing field. It is not a football field. It is going to be right in front of the camera, and of course there's going to be great fun because he's going to be matching his wits with Vin Diesel and the team of Fast and Furious. So that's going to be interesting, and I would love to see how this plays out. But I for one would love to see more footballers coming into this. We would love to see more merging of football and Hollywood stars or films coming in together. Because at the end of the day, both of them are very creative pursuits. If you talk about filmmaking, if you talk about sports, they both are very interesting in their own way. If you get them together, it's going to be a great combination, and it's going to be very, very combustible.
Totally, yes. And Mr. Vijayan, could this be a cameo or a larger role in the franchise?
I think the way Vin Diesel has been hinting at it, this could be a cameo, but I think they're looking at a larger role. We've always seen that whoever Vin Diesel has picked up for the Fast and Furious franchise, they have picked him up for a larger role and for the larger scheme of things. I would love to see him in a larger role because I think Cristiano Ronaldo, you never know, he can really make it really big in Bollywood, in Hollywood, in terms of the way he carries himself, in terms of the way he presents himself, and more than just the looks, I think the talent which he has, I think the ability which he has needs to come on the silver screen. So we would love to see how it plays out.
Yes, right. With that, I would like to thank Mr. Shekhar Vijayan for joining us today as a freelance entertainment journalist from New Delhi. Thank you very much. Now we move on to our next news. Comedian Amy Schumer and her husband, chef Chris Fisher, are divorcing after more than 7 years of marriage. Schumer has announced the amicable split on Instagram, posting a cheeky photo of them side by side on a subway. She made it clear that the separation is not linked to her recent weight loss, which she attributes to overcoming crushing syndrome, or Fisher's autism diagnosis. The couple said they remain focused on raising their son, Jean, born in 2019. Schumer and Fisher married in February 2018, and the announcement comes after weeks of speculation about their relationship. Despite the split, Schumer praised Fisher, calling him the best, and reaffirmed their love and mutual respect. Now for this discussion, we welcome Ms. Ruchi Chandrawan. She's a pop culture manager from Evolve Media, joins us live from Mumbai. Thank you very much, Ms. Ruchi, for joining us. Welcome to Hollywood Calling. Now, what stands out about the way Schumer has addressed speculation head on?
Hi, thank you for welcoming me here. Talking about Amy, I believe that her being a comedian, I think it's a very natural story or a very natural announcement that she made. Saying with the kind of caption she put, the words like blah 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 and stuff like that, that really puts her out in the public as a comedian. And I believe that she is a very bold woman who took the divorce head on. And this is how I believe that Amy divorcing Chris came off to the public as, oh, it's a shocking thing. But given there were sources around the whole story that, okay, she might take a decision, I think it's very brave that she went ahead on Instagram, put a very cheeky photo, and then announced a divorce. So, yeah, I think that's there.
Right, and what do you have to say about Schumer's clarification about her health and Fisher's autism challenge?
I believe that Amy has been in the limelight since, I believe, forever because of her weight. Even before her
Right.
dramatic weight loss, she was, scrutinized for her weight, fan reactions, and everything was all around her weight. But now, after the dramatic weight loss, I believe she was aware that the stereotypical, notion about women or men losing weight and then leaving the partner comes in. So I believe she had to clear it out that it wasn't because of her weight, but it was a personal decision that she took for her sake or for her relationship. So I believe that her weight loss and autism that came into the caption was more of a clarification that she's not into that stereotypical bubble where people would then again attack her on the basis of, oh, she left her husband because now she has, lost her weight and now she's moving on to another life, or this is her new arc or a new era where she is now trying to embrace herself. So I believe it was important for her, it was important for Amy to clarify that, so that people and the fans around the world don't attack her on that basis.
Yes, and lastly, she's taken over social media for this announcement. What do you have to say about this?
Sorry, she has?
She has taken over Instagram
Oh,
about
yeah.
this
Oh,
announcement.
yeah.
Yes.
So, when she posted about it on Instagram on December 12th, I believe, everybody was talking about it. She was the talk of the town. And coming, her divorce announcement came just months after Nicole Kidman. So it was like, oh, this is a huge celebrity divorce that is happening after one after the another. So her taking over the internet, her taking over the Instagram, I think was very natural because she was already on the internet for her dramatic weight loss and how she was posing here and there and she was attending events. But now the divorce was something that came out of nowhere. But given certain sources were already talking about this, I believe that Amy being out and taking over the internet isn't very something new, because her decisions, her choices, her movies, everything is a talk of the town. People do talk about it. So I believe Amy taking over the internet is not something new.
Indeed, thank you for highlighting that. With that, I would like to thank Ms. Ruchi Chandravanshi for joining us as a pop culture manager from Evolve Media from Mumbai. Thank you very much. Now we move on to our next news. A new documentary titled Melania is putting First Lady Melania Trump firmly in the spotlight. Amazon MGM Studios has released the first trailer, offering a rare look into the 20 days leading up to the 2025 U.S. presidential inauguration. In the trailer, Melania is seen speaking candidly on the phone with her husband, U.S. President Donald Trump, even poking fun at herself, setting the tone for a film that promises both access and personality. The documentary follows her as she prepares for life in the White House, oversees inauguration plans, meets world leaders, and steps back into public life with her family. Viewers see her moving through the White House, boarding Air Force One, and taking part in private conversations, all while maintaining her signature style. The film is directed by Brett Ratner and is produced by Melania Trump herself. Amazon MGM says it offers unprecedented access, including exclusive footage of key meetings and behind-the-scenes moments during the transition of power. Reports say Amazon paid around $40 million for this project. Melania is set for a theatrical release on January 30, 2026, before streaming on Amazon Prime Video. A three-part docuseries will follow tracing Melania's life between New York, Florida, and Washington as the First Lady of the United States. Now we move on to our next news. A Romanian court has sentenced American rapper Wiz Khalifa to 9 months in prison over drug possession charges. The ruling follows an incident at Romania's Beach Please music festival last summer, where police say the rapper consumed drugs on stage while performing. An appeals court in Constanta overturned an earlier fine and imposed the prison sentence, calling the offense illegal under Romania's strict drug laws. Authorities have not clarified whether Wiz Khalifa, a U.S. citizen, will serve time in Romania or face extradition. Now we move on to our next news. Emily Cooper is back as Netflix premieres Emily in Paris Season 5 worldwide on December 18, 2025. Lily Collins reprises her role, this time heading the new branch of Agence Gratu, taking on bigger responsibilities and navigating life, love, and work between Rome and Paris. While Netflix has not officially confirmed a 6th season, statements from CEO Ted Sarandos suggest the show's future is likely secure, keeping fans hopeful for more adventures of Emily Cooper. That's a wrap on Hollywood Calling for this week. Your dose of stars, style, and stories returns soon.